I call to order this meeting of USD 49 Board of Education for November 9th, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. This is a work study session. We have some board members, a board member on Zoom. Board member Pallister is zooming in, and 2 board members were not able to make it tonight. Two board members were not able to make it tonight. Board member Bickle and board member Chance. So as we're zooming and doing everything else, bear with us because it's been a while since we had to do a Zoom meeting. So, the first item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Our agenda is posted in board docs, a link for which is on the USD 49 website. I move to accept the agenda as written.
Second.
Okay, thanks, Tammy. Any discussion about the agenda? Greg, you good? Okay. Okay, having no discussion, I will call for a vote. All in favor of the agenda, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Anybody abstaining? Okay, the motion passes 5-0. Thank you. All right, vote electronically the same way. Okay, consent agenda is on the agenda now. The consent agenda includes board meeting minutes for October 26th, 2020, financials, and personnel transactions. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Lori. Any discussion about the consent agenda? Okay. Hearing none, call for a vote on the consent agenda. All in favor of the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes 5-0. Please vote electronically the same way. All right, now the fun stuff. Presentations. We have O'Laughlin Elementary, USD 49 Health and Wellness Committee, and the winter sports season COVID guidelines. But probably the funnest one of all is first O'Laughlin Elementary School.
Okay, as part of our work study session each month, we will be highlighting a different school. This month is O'Laughlin Elementary. Looks like we've got a flock of eagles that are eager to flap their wings and show us their stuff, and some outstanding educators. So Denise Danielson, Gina Johnson, and Renee Burns. So take it away, whoever's going to take it away.
I guess I'm starting.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Denise Danielson. I teach 2nd grade this year at O'Laughlin. We were asked to highlight our school, present something that shows our strengths, so we chose to highlight how we use technology to enhance instruction and engage students. As you know, within our district and school KISA action plan, we focus on student and family relationships. You will see in our presentation how we excel at two-way communication between school and home. Another focus in our action plan is the implementation of relevant and effective instruction. You will also see how we incorporate technology to enhance instruction and engage students at higher cognitive levels. Another component that you will see is in our presentation is the connection to the vision of the school district. So we're going to start with the 4th goal. Here it is, okay. Effective management of resources. Our students are extremely grateful and excited for the new iPads. We can see with only 1 week of use that we are going to see more reliability and the possibilities with the student iPads. The keyboards are fantastic. They will aid in learning how to type, but also help when we are completing projects. We're being super careful with the iPads and everything. And my kids actually had minis, so now they have full-size iPads, so they just think that, they are really big kids, because we usually didn't get full-size iPads until 3rd grade, so
That's right.
they really think it's special. The 3rd goal, we're going backwards, is effective and positive communication between parents, schools, and communities. O'Laughlin has been one of the forerunners in the utilization of Seesaw to accomplish this goal. We've been using Seesaw for 5 years to enhance our instruction and promote parent-teacher communication. But with using Seesaw, teachers can send messages to the entire group of parents or to more of a specific parent. Parents can send messages back to the teacher. And this is really like almost like a streamlined approach. We can also use Seesaw to share information for the PTA, for the library, for the office, really whatever the parents need to know. So it really eliminates having to send a lot of emails or any other type of communication. So we just use Seesaw. As I said, it really streamlines that communication approach. We also use Seesaw as a portfolio for students to share work and projects with their families. This year, Seesaw has been especially valuable to stay connected with families and students while they're in quarantine. Daily lessons, videos, and Zoom links can be shared through the Seesaw. Students can submit work for the teachers within the app. We currently have 99% of our families connected to a child's Seesaw account. And these can include the parents, the grandparents, the aunts and uncles, whatever the families want to share the link with. And the kids are so excited to be able to share this learning experience from school to home.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about how as staff we use technology to create great learning opportunities for our students. And one way is by creating cross-curricular opportunities for students and making it relevant with real learning. So I just have some students back behind me. One way we've done that this year is through the election. And we created our own political kind of realm within our classroom. So we created 2 very different political parties. We had the Chewy Party and we had the Chocolate Party. And we had our candy election. Students were responsible for understanding primary elections and how the Electoral College works and how to debate their candidate and how to represent their candidate in all kinds of things. And one way I'm going to show is they made a commercial. So they used persuasive writing and editing and speaking and all kinds of things to get their point out. And this is one of their commercials.
We are Sour Patch Kids, and we are running for the best candy.
Sour Patch Kids, Sour Patch Kids, Sour Patch Kids. Those Sour Patch Kids were so good, they had just the right amount of sour. My Sour Patch Kids are my favorite kind of candy. They're chewy but not too much. Yeah, they also come in many different sizes, shapes, and flavors. You should definitely vote for us.
In this picture, it shows some of the different varieties of Sour Patch Kids, like a yellow Sour Patch Kid, red Sour Patch Kid, and watermelon Sour Patch Kids. But there are still blue Sour Patch Kids, green Sour Patch Kids, and many more.
Sour Patch Kids can vote too, just like you can vote for them. Every day with Sour Patch Kids is a party.
Fish for the ballot to vote.
Vote for Sour Patch Kids. I'm a Sour Patch Kid, and I create this message.
So it was fun, but they walk away understanding. Through the election, each ballot on the reverse side also had a state. So we used an interactive map to then take that vote and use the Electoral College to see if our popular vote matched our electoral vote. And the Chewy Party was victorious this year, so it was a lot of fun.
Another example would be, in 2nd grade, we are right now learning about how to read nonfiction text and write nonfiction text. So we are doing like little mini research projects with animals. So the kids are researching their animals, learning how to take notes, take those notes and compose paragraphs. And then we did a fun little project where they could make a quick little chatter pick in their animal. This one's a bat.
Bats are interesting mammals. Bats are the only mammals that can fly. Bats do not get dizzy when upside down. Bats can live in old buildings, caves, trees, and the bottom of bridges.
So this was just a really quick way to for them to show their understanding, but very motivational for them. Everybody wanted to get their chatter picks done and do an animal, and of course make their animal talk.
All right, so I'm going to talk about high student achievement. The first one, right off the bat, is looping, and we just feel that we could go on and on about the benefits of looping, but when it comes to high student achievement, I think we just have very high expectations. You know, when we send off, like I teach second and third grade, when I send my third graders off, I go back down to second grade, I'm just like, oh my gosh, they can't do anything. So I just have really high expectations right off the bat, and then that second year, you know, it's just, we're ready to rock and roll right off. The other one would be the 2 years that we spend, we not only build strong relationships with our students, but even with our parents and the families. So those are two of the biggest ones that I feel like go with the high student achievement. Like they talked about, we provide a lot of experiences that are engaging and meaningful. Some of the things that we do within my loop would be the market day simulations that I know some of your kids did with me. But you know, they have a product or a service and they actually carry out that through a market day where we walk through and we sell our products. They make commercials similar to like what you saw with the Sour Patch. And then we also do a huge unit on history of Hays. And so it just is so important to them because, you know, it's living here and we get to walk right behind our school is Rome. I don't know if you know a lot about the history of Hays, but a little plaque there, and then Boot Hill they just think is the most amazing thing ever. So lots of really meaningful learning experiences that are cross-curricular, like she mentioned. The next one would be providing collaborative learning environments. That's been a little bit trickier this year with COVID and some of the steps we're taking to keep everyone safe. But what's been really exciting with technology is there's so many things out there where we can still collaborate. Like I know in the higher grades, I'm trying this year with third grade, is using Padlet, which is kind of like a team building through, she uses it a lot. But last year, you know, my kids weren't typing as well in second grade, so we used Flipgrid a lot. And that was a way where you could make a video like if they're learning about tigers. You know, they can make a little video of the facts that they learn about tigers, and then right underneath it, their teammate can then add to that video. And there's just so many ways you can collaborate when you're not physically so close to one another. The last part is providing social emotional instruction to support their needs. With Second Step, we've just implemented that this year for our school. That really limits the disruptions that we're having in class so that we can spend more time on academics. But we are firm believers that what you focus on, you get more of. And so when we're focusing on the positive and modeling those really great behaviors, we're going to get more of those. So moving on. One thing that we've worked on, I think we're on year 3 of the O'Loughlin News. Yep, there you go. Years ago, we had a little news segment that everyone watched in the morning, and it wasn't necessarily tied to academics. It was kind of fluff, you know, just fun, lost and found, birthdays, all of that. And 3 years ago, we kind of brought it back, but it is very much morphed into a piece that spreads the common language from kindergarten through 5th grade. And so we are doing tons of academics that are aligned with that. With Second Step, I mean, the list just goes on of some of the really cool things that we do, but the common language is a really big piece because our kindergartners are using the word integrity based on what they're seeing with the O'Loughlin Eagle News. That's part of our guidelines of success. We soar, we show integrity, we own our learning, accept responsibility, and respect ourselves and others. But our kindergartners are using that language. And I really feel it's because of the Eagle News that we do. It's a little video that goes out to all teachers every morning. And it's max 5 minutes. It's usually not that long. It's about 3 minutes long. But it covers our guidelines for success, Second Step, lots of celebrations. We had a really cute little group of neighbors earlier in towards the end of summer. They had a lemonade stand. And all the money, well, one of them's here. You're here, Evie's here. They raised money to go to our school library. And so that was just a celebration. They just got their books, I think 2 weeks ago, that they used those funds for. And so just little celebrations like that. Mrs. Sonia Hurl was our master teacher, just voted last week. And so we had a little celebration on the news for that. Current events. We talked a lot about the election and how that works, the history of election. This week, Wednesday, we'll have Veterans Day, so that'll be a little snippet in the news for that. And then usually I look for like just kind acts that are in current events around the world that we can put out there for the kids to see. The last one I have on the O'Loughlin Eagle News would be remote learning. Last year when we left school in March, I don't think any of us were planning on being gone the rest of the year and then it moving into this year.
And so it was just kind of a shock to everyone's systems. And we had so many parents that were very grateful that the news continued. I would make the news and then I'd send it out to all the teachers, and then that would go out every day on Seesaw. And so it was just a way, some kind of consistency of some sort. And they were just very grateful to have that connection to school. The parents were very happy about it. It kept them engaged. I did a lot of little challenges where I'd say, find these 3D objects and then take a picture and send it to me. And so a lot of those were just pictures of kids, just all throughout the news of the things they were doing at home, and they got to see their friends. So there's a lot of great things going on with our Eagle News that happen every day. Moving on to the next slide. One thing that I wanted to talk a little bit more about was meaningful cross-curricular that they mentioned earlier. This was one of the activities that I think is just really cool, that our staff works so hard to mix all the curriculums and find really creative ways to share this on Seesaw. So this is through second step. The objective was to, last week we talked about self-talk and how, what's going on inside your brain, just that mental part of things, that cognitive part. And so using self-talk, these children, my whole class, thought of their own personal struggles or things, not even just at school, but this is a lifelong skill, that we're talking about. It carries on way beyond that. All this can be done at home, and then when you grow up, and you're a citizen, and it's just really important for them to learn positive self-talk. So the one on the far right is just so cute because he's an English language learner, and so he wanted to know if he needed to write it in English. And I said, well, in your head, what is your voice saying? And he said Spanish, and so I have no idea what it says, but it's really cute. I'm sure it says something great, but I think he told me at some point, but I don't remember what it is now. So, so just this one activity covers our dialogue for reading and writing workshop. It's pick collage using the keyboard typing. Thank you so much for pushing that through. We're so happy to have those. And then it's shared on Seesaw. So they have an audience for that. That's the hugest part is, you go to school and you do all this work for what? So just sharing it for that audience of parents. And then it goes on the news, and so the whole school sees it. And so it just really becomes a personal activity, which is really cool to see. So.
All right, so now for my special guest back here. What started as an hour of code several years ago has morphed in my classroom into a view for the future, a real opportunity that could be one of their jobs someday. The odds that a student is hired for a job that uses some form of coding is pretty remarkable. In 2015, I shared with them that there were over 7 million jobs that use some form of coding, and a lot of them were outside of the actual technology field. They were in arts and building and all kinds of healthcare opportunities. So giving them a little glimpse of coding, I think at 5th grade, opens them up to a whole different world of opportunities. So through 2 different grants, 3 years ago, I wrote a Line Mates for Learning grant and was awarded the We Do 2.0, which is a Lego product. And this year, through another Line Mates for Learning grant, I was awarded two Lego Boosts. And they're actually going to kind of show you some of the coding that they're doing. And I like it because they're able to code and then have some kind of an output and actually get to see something. You see real collaboration. You see actual problem solving. It doesn't go well the first time. Sometimes there's mistakes and you can't figure out where the mistake comes and why it won't do what you want it to do, and they grit their teeth and they put their head down and they push through it. So we have 8 students that are going to hop up. Or rise gracefully. And you want to show them your stuff? So you guys want to go maybe down there. And let's put the guys in the middle. And if you guys want to come over here.
Sure.
And they're going to use these. I just read it right back. Mr. Park.
Cool.
Here, and you guys come over here. And you guys, you're just going to use the tables.
Oh, the tables. Okay. Gotcha. All right, let's see what you got.
Go ahead and show them the software, so the coding programming you're using.
Yeah, I want to look at that. I'm curious how that works.
And when you're done, like, type it, skill, how to make it move.
Great. So, tell me how you
So
got
show
to
me
that.
How the sound changes.
I mean, I can see you moving around, and so you obviously have the
Do
program,
this
right?
as a group?
So, show me the coding.
How long did it take?
So is it like if then?
Oh, I see.
And so how it works is here it tells us what direction.
So you got to experiment with it to see what works out. So now if you push that button, it's going to go straight and then turn around?
Which one's the speed?
And then
So can you show them how to add the new code to it?
What speed was it that it was going? The high, medium, or
it's a number one for the higher now.
so 9's the fastest?
Okay.
Nice.
I like it. So what's this one? What's that one there?
And then also your
Just tell me to start or something?
Which is green, yellow, purple,
so as we, like, I need to change the speed back to I speed. And then when you do it, it'll automatically put it from reversing, so slower.
Nice.
So you go along as you do. You kind of
So it's Bluetooth then or something else? Okay.
Can you give it to like, can you make it say something like in your voice?
Wow, wow, that's great. Well, thank you very much for showing it to us.
thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Nice. Do you like the new iPads?
What's your
Nice.
favorite part about it? You got lots of different things. That's what fun. Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for showing it to us.
Nice job, ladies. Thank you for coming.
I don't know, when's this next Thursday? Maybe outside. Hey, when you got good material.
Oh, I love it. You do have to get moving.
Good job, though. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Give you guys all a big hand.
Okay, thank you. This was our presentation. Thank you for having us and letting us share some of the authentic learning that's happening within our walls and with some of our eagles. Stop by anytime. I'm sure they'd like to show you more.
Yeah, it'd be great.
That's great.
Thank you very much for coming
That's
out.
Great presentation, thank you.
Yes, very good. I like that you're excited about this. That's the best part, I think. Yeah.
I also like just, thanks for throwing in the vision for the district. Love that. I owe you guys an ice cream cone for that. That's awesome. Good job.
All right, very good.
You owe us one too.
Well, okay, you got one too, Lori.
All right, I guess we're ready to move on to the USD 49 Health and Wellness Committee report.
Okay, as part of the work study session, I think it's a great opportunity to get some of the information out to board members in terms of what's going on in the district. One of the really positive things is our Health and Wellness Committee. That is, and some of the work that they are doing for our district employees. We have a really committed committee who has just done some tremendous things over the last couple of years. And Faith Lokman from she's our Human Resources Coordinator, is here to share. So.
All right.
All right, good evening, everybody.
You
Got
too?
a slide deck here to kind of walk through what's happening with our wellness committee. Let's see. Which one's the clicker? All right.
Keep going.
First slide. So this is just giving you kind of a brief history on our wellness committee. In December of 2017, the district switched our healthcare provider from Blue Cross Blue Shield to Aetna. One of the things that Aetna has brought to the table for us is the sponsorship of a wellness budget. It's been a very generous budget, and we've worked really hard to do the best we can with it to help promote wellness and health in our district. So you can see there in the second bullet, year by year. In 18-19, we had a $20,000 grant. In 19-20, we had a $20,000 grant. This year, we were given an extra $15,000 because of COVID.
Wow.
So definitely a generous amount of money to spend. The Wellness Committee was formally initiated in the 18-19 school year. Myself, my assistant Bonnie Abel, and also Jessica Yunker, our Director of Nutrition Services, kind of led the committee and pulled it together. We have representation from every school and from a variety of roles. We have also provided opportunity to kind of rotate some new folks in and out each year. We also have a dedicated wellness consultant from Aetna. Her name is Carrie Hudo. She frequently comes to visit when we have events. She joins our meetings more recently in a Zoom capacity, but is there to help offer guidance. Also Gallagher, our wellness consultant, we have a dedicated resource there. Her name is Amanda Schuster, and she's involved with us as well.
Faith,
Yes,
before you move on, of that 35,000 that's here in 2021, was some of that for the thermometers?
No, the
So that's
thermometer
in even-
donation was outside of that.
Wow,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. Okay, so a huge focus of the Wellness Committee is to be as proactive as we can around health-related matters. One of the things that we've done each year is a biometric screening event as a preventative service. Basically, it's a finger stick. When you go to the event, there's another option where you can actually, if you don't want to go to a screening event, you can go to your personal physician with a personalized form that you can download from the Quest website. That's our partner. Either way you do it, you get a very pretty comprehensive report back on the findings. So employees that complete a screening, whether it's through an event or at their personal physician, each year by November 30th, they qualify for a $20 a month savings on their health insurance premium for the next calendar year. So that's a huge incentive for people to do it. So just to give you an idea, we had 374 participants in 2018, 356 participants in 2019, and for 2020 we would normally do a spring and a fall event. Obviously we did not have a spring event, so we're gearing up. Actually this week on the 11th and 12th we're going to be having, the 11th will be at Hayes High and the 12th will be at Hayes Middle School. We start at 6 a.m. and we're going till noon. Normally, it's a more compressed time frame, but to allow for social distancing and the number of people that we're trying to get through, it's going to be a little longer, which for the people that go later kind of sucks because it's fasting. But nonetheless, we have 240 people signed up, so we're going to have a busy couple days with that coming up. As I mentioned, there are other options. Folks can go to their personal physician, have their form filled out and sent in, or they can actually walk into our local Quest office. If you do either of those two options, it's an actual venipuncture versus just a finger stick. So you get a little bit more comprehensive results, but it's just a way to help people flag, you know, is there pre-diabetic, is your cholesterol high, you know, or high blood pressure, those sorts of things. Another preventative service that we've done through the committee is an annual flu shot clinic. There's some numbers for you. We had 186 participants in 18, 171 2019. This year was particularly low for some reason. I know one reason is, so these were held on the 22nd, 23rd. We normally do them at the middle school and the high school. The second day had to be rescheduled because we partner with Walgreens, and one of their personnel was not able to be there. So we moved it to a Monday, and then that Monday happened to be that inclement weather that we had where it was pretty icy. There's also some speculation. A lot of people got their flu shot early because of the COVID year and just kind of wanting to double down on being safe.
Okay. Another initiative that we have around being proactive, we have monthly wellness challenges that have incentives. These are provided to us by Gallagher. They're simple little 1-month programs, and they're focused on all kinds of wellness, not necessarily just physical health, but also emotional health, financial wealth, emotional health, healthy families. So you can kind of see here, it's a little bit hard to read, I guess, but to give you an idea of the diversity, like 1 month was heart health. 1 month would be limiting your screen time. Family health, community health, cancer prevention, eating healthy during stressful and busy times. So they're very simple. They're activities that anybody can participate in. They fill out a piece of paper along the way, they turn it in. At the end of the month, we have a drawing. And the winners that participated and their names are drawn get $25 in chamber checks. So here's some accomplishments we've had here as we've moved along. One of the biggest hits that we've had, and it has been probably one of the biggest buckets where our funds are going, is for folks to be able to go to the Hayes Recreation Fitness Center for a free drop-in workout. That could be a solo workout, or if they want to join any of the group classes that are offered, they can do that as well. We started this in November of 2018. We have literally had thousands of drop-in visits. We're around 3,000 visits for just the solo workouts, and we're creeping up on 1,000 for the group fitness workouts. People absolutely love it. Also, in coordination with the Hayes Rec Commission, pool passes in the summer have been a huge hit. In 2019, we had 3,000 plus pool passes used. So basically, it's the employee can show their badge and they get in free +1 is how that's worked. And a lot of folks go just enjoy a day in the sun. It's a good way to just relax. They also have aqua aerobics and different workout programs that our folks have taken advantage of as well. We've gotten good feedback on that. When we had our back to school event last year, we had a guest speaker. The Wellness Committee helped contribute to that. Tamara Conrad came and helped us kick off. Her talk was a lot about, he was a motivational speaker, but it was about work-life balance topics, being mindful to manage your own mental and emotional health. So we were happy that we could partner and help sponsor that event.
We offered free CPR certification classes. This was a bigger hit than we thought it would be. We did our first course, and we had a bunch of other people say, hey, I want to get certified too. Anyone from teachers, secretaries, coaches, we had a variety of staff members that we were able to pay for them to get certified.
Oh, that's great.
I'll get this right eventually.
I got it.
Sorry.
That's all right.
There we go. So here's some things that are kind of more fun stuff. November last year, we offered free massages. So we worked with the Fort Hays State Massage Therapy Program, and some folks that are involved with that from H2O. We had, for anybody that wanted it, some people, that's not their cup of tea, they don't really want a massage or an adjustment, but a lot of people were happy to oblige and take advantage of that. So they brought their tables, got into a break space and did 10-minute massages for anybody that wanted them. I wish I had the numbers on how many got massages, but I don't. I do know that we've received a lot of positive feedback on that. Last couple of years, we've done a holiday giftaway. Basically, it's kind of just raffling off some gifts. We try to make them health-oriented. Air fryers, Instapots, the Ninja blenders where you can make healthy smoothies, things like that. And obviously, that's a big hit. People like free stuff. It's kind of a nice way to celebrate the holidays and cap out the fall semester. We also partnered with the Center for Health Improvement. We offered some healthy cooking classes if folks wanted to take advantage of that. All right. So this year, well, I guess one of the things we're working on is adding structure to what we do. We've gotten a lot of things accomplished and offered a lot of different programs and things for people to participate in. In the 19-20 school year, we spent our budget with $2.82 to spare. Now we have a little bit of a late start this year, just because of the way the school year started, and we didn't anticipate the extra funds. So we are in motion planning our budget for this year. We've already spent $4,000 more to kind of reload with the Hays Rec for the fitness, the workouts. Also with the chamber bucks. I guess one other thing to cap out last year, we did receive a bronze award from Aetna for inspiring change. The very last slide, if you want to look at it, kind of gives the criteria. It was the first time that they've recognized organizations in the public and labor sector for being part of their wellness programs that they offer. Our sights are set on a gold award this next time around. One of the things that, really should have done this on the front end, but we're getting around to it, is to add more structure and formalization to what we do to help brand the Wellness Committee and make it more recognizable out in the schools. So as of this week, we have a new mission statement, some core values, a logo, and a tagline. And that's on the next slide.
You were there. I did there.
Okay. So, we had members of the committee all submit ideas for, we talked about it. We talked about what is a mission statement, what's the purpose of it, and then we asked everybody to submit. And so what we came up with is, the mission statement of the USD 49 Wellness Committee is to encourage and assist all employees to pursue a healthier and happier quality of life. The tagline was also voted on, improve your health, improve your life. When we did survey feedback and we were talking about taglines and mission statements and all those things, there were some themes that kept coming through over and over, and they fit really nicely into some core values that we're going to kind of stay focused on and help us guide our initiatives in the future. Getting better together. In our first Wellness Committee meeting, obviously we took some time to pause and talk about COVID-19 and the impact that it's had on folks. And You know, being in human resources here at the board office, you know, it's been rough all the way around for everybody. I kind of think I had in my mind an idea of what it was like out in schools. But we took some time in our first meeting, and folks were just talking about what it was like. And I quickly realized that I didn't have an idea how challenging it was. And it was not a complaint session. It was folks just expressing their feelings. One of the things, that's why where the Get Better Together is coming from is, you know, social distancing is so literal. We really want to try and get creative on how can we kind of promote togetherness again without, you know, compromising safety for those involved. Also, coming out of that was, you know, a lot of the things that we've done have been around, you know, diet, exercise, those sorts of things. The committee members really feel like we need to spend our budget and really focus on helping people with mental health and emotional health. More than anything. They feel fatigued. The stress level, you know, it can be really difficult. I'm sure you all have gotten a lot of that feedback. Everybody's kind of living it and going through it. So that's part of the be well and be kind. You know, it's building off of grace and flexibility and patience, just general kindness. Seeking a balance in your life as much as you can. And recognizing that health is wealth, it's valuable. You know, we have to put a priority on it for so many reasons. And again, it's not just physical health, it's our entire well-being. So we also came up with a logo, which you can see on the screen there. We asked the graphic design class at Hayes High to come up with some ideas for us. We picked the top 5 and we voted. And this is the logo that we came up with. We're going to have some I don't know, what do you call it, banners made. We have a lot of ideas about things we want to do with our money. One of them is, and it's not in here, but at the schools to kind of beef up the staff, the break areas for the staff, whether it's putting a nice, you know, commercial-sized Keurig in there and stock it with coffees and teas and ciders and like a free snack rack, grab something on the go. But I want them to see the banners and say, you know, this, thank you, employee appreciation, thank you so much. This has been a rough year. Thanks for all you're doing. Have a coffee or a snack on us. That's just one idea. But we want to get the branding out there. We'll also probably do some polo shirts for the members of the committee with our logo on there and our tagline. So we're really trying to kind of formalize and put structure around what we're doing. The other thing is a dashboard. In some of the slides, I was able to give you metrics on how many people were impacted by whatever initiative that it was. There's a lot more we can do to measure our success and whether or not we're making improvements. For example, we know that the drop-in workouts are a huge hit, and a lot of people are doing it. We do not have a way yet, but we're working on it. It's going to happen, to track how many unique users do we have and what is the frequency for those unique users going to the gym. And then on our monthly challenges, you know, we want to get our participation rates up. So those are the kinds of things that will be built into the dashboard along with other metrics that you saw in the presentation. And that is the last slide. Provide this deck out to you guys to have. Sorry you didn't have it in advance, but the appendix has Bonnie and I holding our bronze award that we received, and then it's got some of the criteria there. So that's the end of my presentation. That's a little bit about the Health Committee, Wellness Committee. Can I field any questions from anybody? Did I put you to sleep?
No. No, I thank you for exploring
Too much
the other
information. Yeah.
aspects of health.
Yeah.
I think obviously COVID's brought a lot of attention to that, but certainly having it on your radar is.
There's some other things too. Teledoc, which is one of our resources through Aetna. They're offering mental health resources. We need to get more communication out about that. So that's just another example. I think we even have a few other things in the works that are going to help us from, as far as Gallagher and Aetna, focus on the mental and emotional health side of things. So.
Do you need like a list of mental health facilities or anything like that?
A list of what?
A list of mental health facilities or anything like that?
We have that information. I think it's just a
Okay.
matter of getting it organized in a format that's,
Makes sense?
makes it concise and clear to communicate it out, so.
Okay. Good.
Thanks for what you're doing.
Faith, this is great, because
Thank you.
I know you've had a committee, but I wasn't quite sure of what all the things you have done, or are you doing, so I'm glad you came by and told us what you're doing. And it's nice to have the money from that,
Absolutely.
Aetna.
We just want to keep doing good things with it and make it applicable to everybody. We want to offer activities that everybody
So
sees value.
For example, the pool passes that you bought, those are purchased by that, with the funds.
They were,
That's
yeah.
excellent. Yeah, that's excellent.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All righty. Now, the winter sports season COVID guidelines.
Okay, tonight I just thought I'd share, as we are entering the winter season, we're entering a whole new realm of COVID guidelines. Our fall season primarily was outdoors with the exception of volleyball. And so just I thought I'd share a little bit what's being looked at and being considered as we start our winter season here. And actually our middle school is already started. So, I think I've included the information for you this evening in terms of just what we're looking at for wrestling, in terms of just some tournaments, how we're going to a one-day tournament, limited team bracket. There'll be some, talking a little bit about our bus trips in terms of just how we're going to, once again, request seating charts, taking pictures, staying in the same seat, wearing face shields, one athlete to a seat until seats are filled. A little bit about practices and how practices will be held different for each sport in terms of how they're rotating and trying to do activities within a time period before they rotate, so we're not in the same spot. Just in terms of about wearing masks, as the athletes are finished competing, we're really going to ask athletes to start getting masks on their face as if this is an indoor situation, so we really got to be a little more cautious. And we're just going to really try to encourage our kids not to be smart about attending large group gatherings outside of school and on weekends and evenings, and just really try to encourage mask wearing outside of school as well. And just of course we've entered the face shield, as that is kind of gives you some protection against being the close contact quarantine. If you have the face mask, the surgical face mask, and the face shield, it gives you some security and just the cleaning that goes in. A little bit about the basketball in terms of the Hays City shootout, how it is going to be a reduced tournament. We're really going to be at a 50% capacity. I'll talk about seating here in a little bit, and then swimming. And just, I think that from the fans' standpoint, our tickets for all varsity events will be pre-sold, and that's through Vanco Events. It's on the Hays High School website. We will be restricting attendance for our community this year for our winter season. It'll be roughly about 55% of capacity. We will not restrict students, however, and students will not be required to pre-purchase tickets. We are going to ask fans to wear their mask at all times while they're in the gym. And that's something that's really, we don't want that to be an issue, but we're really going to have to ask fans if they're going to come to the games that they sit in their assigned sections. And one of the things that is we're really going to try and focus on and prioritize is that the ventilation and airflow is a very important part of keeping everyone safe and healthy. So, we just want to make sure that everyone understands when they come to a game, it might be a little cooler as we may open doors and have some fans pulling air, and might be running heaters at the same time, which doesn't seem like a lot of sense, but it's all about airflow, and that there is a reason behind the madness, just to keep everyone healthy. I've also included the Hayes Middle School basketball and wrestling guidelines. They're not a lot different other than the 7th grade games, which will be held at Hayes Rec. And we're just not allowing any visiting team fans for 7th grade games. And some other accommodations. One of the cool things that we are doing for middle school is that, and of course we do this for our high school events, but the middle school, we're live streaming middle school events. And for those who can't make it to games or prefer to stay at home for safety reasons, which I think is really phenomenal and will help hopefully with keeping our capacity down. So that's a little bit just about the winter sports season COVID guidelines. I just wanted the board to be aware. There'll be a few changes. We experienced a little of this with our fall season in terms of football limiting our seating capacity, but really it didn't. I don't think anyone really was prevented from, going to a game. Where, possibly during our winter season, for maybe some wrestling tournaments or basketball, I just encourage our patrons to understand they have to pre-purchase those tickets before they can get into the game. So it'll be real helpful if we can get that message out. I don't know if there's any questions on
Pre-purchase
it.
tickets, do they send them through the mail, or do they?
No. They'll just be done digitally through. It's Banco
okay.
events. It's just like purchasing a concert ticket.
And the logic is you don't
Yeah.
want people queuing up to buy tickets and.
Well, yeah. We're just trying to control the attendance. Roughly, what you'll see for an activity that goes on at Hayes High, I think will allow about 750 fans. Which on most nights, that's gonna work. There might be a few games, maybe like for the exception of the Great Bend game, it's very important that they get their tickets pre-bought. So, and maybe a few other contests. So, I think that's just the information that I kind of wanted to get out to the board in case you get any questions about it. You have some little information about what's being considered and the thoughts of. Of course, you might hear about how cold it is in the gym. I don't know, but we're really going to conconcentrate on airflow as
As long as we
well.
let people know to bring a jacket,
Yeah.
or a blanket, or something.
Yeah.
Hey, the no visiting team fans at the middle school. Are other middle schools doing the same thing? So
Well,
our parents
we're
should probably not go with the
not
kids.
necessarily. At our situation at the rec center, we have limited seating at the rec center and limited space, and so. We are not limiting seating at Hayes Middle School for the 8th grade games.
Right.
But we would do for the rec center just because we don't have the space. But we are live streaming the events, which still allows people to see the event, should they not be able to get
I
there.
really hope, and I think this is the case, but I really hope people understand that you all are doing everything possible to be as normal as possible. And there's
Sure.
just some.
For the kids.
For the kids,
Yeah.
and there's just some things we have to change.
You
So,
bet.
And then in a few years, it'll be back to normal. So,
Let's hope so.
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Do you anticipate, we see a map here of the Hayes High gym.
Yes.
Do you anticipate that that'll be marked at the gym itself?
Yeah, so you'll have, those seats will be marked
It'll be
off
clear.
or X'd out. Those are areas, I believe it's the yellow.
Oh,
Or
okay.
it's the red, I can't remember, I don't have it up in front of me yet.
Yeah.
But they'll be marked out. Those seats will be marked, you'll know where you're allowed. And basically, I think they're in pods of 6, pods of 4. And so we're just really gonna encourage, families to try and stay together, and not get a lot of cross mingling, so to speak. I know it's not necessarily 100%, proof that we won't see some of that, but that way we can try and, keep our grouping as one of the things about Hayes High Gym is we are probably the smallest gym in our league. So a lot of the other league schools really are not having real issues with this because their facilities are probably twice the size of what Hayes High has. So we have to be a little more cautious in terms of how we're going about this.
Yep. All right.
When I had my kids in school, one of the things that I noticed is that the kids were up and down,
Sure.
and this, over here, over there, over there.
Well, I have a feeling we're still going to battle some of that. I mean, if you've noticed on the map, the kids will be every other row. We're going to try and space them out a little bit as best as possible, but they will still, they're still kids and they're going to be moving and up and down and doing all those things. So
Okay.
we understand, but at the same time, we're just trying to be as cautious as possible.
Okay, got it.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Will concessions be offered, or is that another?
Yeah, concessions right now are still a go. Of course, that is the $1 million question. When you come in the gym and you got a bag of popcorn and a pop, does that mean you can take your mask off and leave it off? It's impossible to eat popcorn and drink a pop with a mask on. But the thing is, what we're going to ask people is that, really try to, once you're done, please get your mask up and just be responsible and make smart decisions. It's not necessarily for yourself; it's for others. It's for kids who want to play games. Is the reason that we're asking you to do that. So hopefully, people will respect that and honor that.
Yes, because if there's if we need to quarantine a kid, we did shorten it down to 7 days, but it's still a quarantine.
Sure.
So we want
Well,
to try to minimize those things.
Yeah, and the other option would be no fans. So I guess
Well-
if they
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
adhere,
Yeah.
and that's certainly not an
Yeah, I mean,
ideal situation.
it's not a situation we relish in terms of wanting to police people, especially adults, on masks.
Right.
Puts administrators in tough spots, and we just hope that our community, our patrons, understand that it is not about us. It's about the kids and their
Yeah.
ability to play the games.
For sure.
That's right. And have fun.
Yes.
Okay. Any more questions about superintendent communication? Anyone? Okay, let's move on to the next. Board communication.
Sorry, was that his communication?
No.
Was that the-
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Skipped one. Okay, now we're good. District communications, 4.1 is superintendent's communication. Yes.
Yeah,
Al.
just want to congratulate Sonia Hurl, who was recently named the Hayes NEA Master Teacher of the Year. Sonia is a teacher at O'Laughlin Elementary, and this year she is currently providing online instruction for our 4th and 5th grade students as parent choice remote teacher. So we want to congratulate Sonia on her recognition.
That's great.
I think many of you probably know, but if you don't, Roosevelt Elementary, once again, as part of their annual celebration, honored our military veterans with a outside parade last Friday. It was actually supposed to be, it might have been supposed to be tomorrow. And the weather forecast did not look good, so they moved it to Friday. And it was really quite a sight. Local veterans rolled by in all kinds of vehicles, and the kids held signs outside. They held flags, and just recognized our veterans. It was just a special shout out to Gay Flax, who is the organizer of this event, and just her creative thinking to substitute this activity, which always has been a traditional Veterans Day dinner, but due to COVID, once again, you have to think outside the box, and came up with a great option, and just a neat moment, really neat moment, as we continue to honor our local veterans here in Hayes.
Cool.
That's excellent.
Yeah, it was really cool. I think also I just wanted to give some, of course, our high school activities always get a lot of press and notoriety. We had a very successful season at the high school this fall, but I think sometimes middle school kind of flies under the radar. We also had a very successful, I wanted to recognize our cross-country team. Our 7th grade boys and girls and our 8th grade boys were league champions at the middle school level. In volleyball, our 7th grade A and B and our 8th grade B team finished second in the league this year. Our 8th grade team ended up as league champions and had a remarkable turnaround going, as they were just 4-15 as 7th graders. So, and they were 19-2 this year and league champs. That's awesome. Our football team, 7th grade football team, finished second in the league with 6-1 record. They lost their last game to Great Bend. Tough loss, 8-6. And our 8th grade team finished undefeated league champions with a 7-0 record and had a combined record for 7th and 8th grade of 14-0. So we have some good things coming. So just wanted to recognize our middle school group. Just last item, I'd just like to continue to, I think it's going to sound like a broken record, but just want to continue to request help from our district school families as well as the community, and just asking them to continuing to be vigilant and following the health and safety protocols that have been put in place in our community, just like our students and staff are being asked to do at school every day. I think it's just essential that we continue to work together and ask our school families to be smart and methodical in their choices and actions so we can slow down this spread of the virus. As you're probably aware, today our community is well over 30% in active positive cases for a 7-day average, which is crazy. Although our school numbers are not anywhere near close to that, we are still seeing a fairly significant increase since our Halloween weekend. And it's just so important that, I think we have to encourage school families to continuing to make those sacrifices outside of school, because it's going to be worth it if it means that our students can remain attending in-person school and participating in in-school activities like we visited about with our winter sports season. I think we're at that point where we just have to continue to take this COVID situation seriously, and we probably need to be even more serious about it than at any other time of the year right now, because we're entering our flu season, which will no doubt, along with COVID, put a tremendous strain on our school system and our staff and our students. I'm very proud that we have made a serious push for things to be as normal as possible with school this year, with sports and all our other activities. I'm also very proud of how everyone has worked together when it has come to COVID-19, with things such as our reopening plan, the wearing of face mask, and even our pivot on reducing the school-based close contact quarantines to 7 days. However, what we're noticing is that when people are not affected specifically by activities or events, or our numbers maybe get a little lower, we tend to let our guard down. And we forget that this virus is not an 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. virus. I think my point is that we have to ask our school families to be vigilant outside of school, because right now our numbers are not trending down the way we were hoping to see them. This has been a lot of hard work that we've put in to get to this point in the school year, but we must continue to make it a priority of working together to take this thing seriously if we want to continue to remain on site for the learning for the rest of the year. We just have, you watch the news, there's a lot of schools that are making moves to remote. I still feel very strongly our students are better in school, they're safer in school because of the health and safety protocols that we have in place. But we just need for people to be very vigilant outside of school. Those are the things we're fighting right now. So I just wanted to share that communication with you. And
how are we getting the word out to families to be careful outside the school?
Well, and that's a good question, Mike. I think we're going to need to really, I think, in a sense, do some work on that. This is maybe just the beginning of messaging that we're going to have to continue to share with parents.
I guess you can text everybody, but that's usually an emergency.
Our numbers, you got the numbers on Friday. On Friday we were at about 140 40 student quarantines. The week before, we had been, I was as low as about 50. But post-Halloween, we've shot back up, and although our numbers today did not look really any worse just over the weekend, but there's some possibilities that with some tests that we're still waiting on, and we could see another huge spike. So we really got to start messaging in any way we can to let people know how important, and this is serious, and that we got to continue to push and sacrifice. And I know it's tough, but the reason we're sacrificing is so that we can really keep kids in school and keep doing the activities that we have going on. And that's really my goal, is to make sure that happens for the entire school year. So.
How are we doing substitute teacher wise? I know that's always been a...
Well, I think every day is a challenge for unfilled positions. I don't know, did you check today, Chris, what unfilled positions?
We've actually had a kind of a recent wave of some folks coming in and applying.
Oh, good.
We haven't been, certified positions, we're hanging in there most days. The non-certified positions are a little tougher, so paras and aides. We end up with openings in those most every day.
Okay.
Unfilled positions.
Alrighty. Okay, thank you very much.
You bet.
Appreciate it. All right, let's move on to the next. We're good? Move on to the next. Board communication, that's me. So, I want to schedule a KASB boardsmanship training session for the board. And some of us had been discussing earlier that maybe January 11th would work, but then I asked Ron to check with Gary, see when he's available. So the dates that Gary sent to us is December 7th, which is a Monday, December 9th, which is a Wednesday, January 6th, which is a Wednesday, or January 7th, which is a Thursday. So December 7th, December 9th, January 6th, January 7th. Any consensus on the board of, if you're available, which one's the best day?
Just curious, was that Monday date, Monday, December 7th, was that
Yes.
an off week or?
Yeah, our regular meeting is December 14th.
Right.
So we do have a regular meeting scheduled for
Correct.
December
That's an
14th.
off week. Yeah. Now, we don't have to actually, I mean, I want to get a decision to Ron as soon as possible. If we can't decide right here, I'll email you all, and then maybe we can get back.
Yeah, I just, and you have to understand, it's Gary. I've kind of secured these dates with Gary, though he will get requests to fill them from other boards as well.
Right.
So that's why I've tried to include as many dates as possible.
Yep, I appreciate that.
And when are we scheduled for that 3-day training?
That's December 3rd.
December
3rd through the 5th, I
Okay.
believe.
So I prefer not to keep it in that week.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
What's that again?
Well, that's the weekend, that's the week before, so that's Wednesday, Thursday. I think December 3rd would be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, is that correct?
Yeah.
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 So it'd be the Monday after.
It'd be the Monday
that,
after.
too. Yeah.
Well,
I just ask it not to
question.
be Thursday, January 7th. The other three are fine. 4, 3.
the 3. Yeah. Okay, I'll scratch off January 7th.
Can you reach out to Lance and
Yeah,
Michelle? What do they prefer?
I'll have to do that.
Hang on, I bet the speaker shut off.
Oh, he's saying something.
The speaker I think turned off.
There you go, try again.
I was just saying I would support either of the December dates.
Okay. Well, I like the Monday because it's an off Monday, but we're used to doing stuff on Monday, so I kind of like the Monday.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Keep it.
That sounds good to me if it works for the other people.
Lori, is that okay with you, December 7th?
Sure.
Okay. I will reach out to Lance and Nichelle and ask them if it's
Are we
December
looking at
7th.
a 6:30 time or?
You know, I would probably
About 2 hours,
ask
right?
that we go to 5:30 just because Gary does some traveling. He's not, so if you could do 5:30, I think that'd be great.
That's fine.
5:30 to 7:30-ish?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, I hope that works because it's, again, a Monday and we're, most of us are free on Mondays, I think. All right, I will reach out to the other two folks and I'll let Ron know as soon as, and the rest of the board by email to
Okay.
confirm. Secondly, on the board communication stuff, November 23rd, next meeting, we're doing pictures, right? We talked about, okay, so make sure.
Just so you know, Mr. Palliser dropped off.
Oh,
Board member Palliser dropped off.
okay,
I think he's coming for executive session, so.
okay. So next week, next meeting, I mean, pictures.
Next meeting is pictures. Okay.
So I guess we better get the best clothes on. All right, I think that's it for the actual meeting. We need to hold an executive session tonight to discuss the next draft of the regularly scheduled evaluation.
Can I make a comment that's not on the agenda?
Sure.
Okay. I would like to start going to the chamber meetings. And
Chamber? Which meetings are you referring to?
the lunches and the ribbon cutting. So I called today to find out about them, and they wanted to know if I wanted to represent the board. And I'm not sure what I need to do to have that happen, and if that's even a possibility.
I guess it comes down to being paid, or I mean, would you be, are you wanting the board to pay for your lunches, or are you wanting to?
No, I can pay for my own.
You just, but I don't know whether it makes a difference, does it?
No, it's nice to have somebody listed as the official representative, I suppose.
Aren't we all members? I
But
mean,
I wonder,
Yeah, we're all.
Yeah, we have a membership.
so
Yeah.
okay,
whoever wanted to go probably would go. But
yeah, you're right, yeah.
Mhm.
But I guess the answer to your first question is, yeah, please go to these events if you want to go
Okay,
to ribbon cutting.
okay.
You know, I put it on my calendar and then I get busy and I can never make these things, so it'd
Okay.
be nice to have some board presence there. That'd be great.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But I don't know, I guess now that we're talking about it, maybe we don't need to have an official rep since we're all board members anyway.
Okay, okay.
But it sounds to me like you're going to be the one going to the most of these, so
I
you'll
think they
be
just want
by
a contact person.
de facto contact.
it'd be nice to get those notices.
Yeah, I'll
think-
send it
well,
to everybody.
Actually,
We
okay,
should, right?
I'm getting them. I thought I was getting those
Can Sarah
already.
just answer
Oh,
that?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, please, come forward. Yeah.
Yeah, there she is. She said
Sarah
she was
Ross,
gonna
your
be here.
chamber president. You
And
were-
where do you live? Sorry, I'm kidding.
You are more than welcome. We would love to have each and every one of you sign up as a representative, so that does
Okay.
not cost the district any extra money. We would just need to have your preferred email address, and then anytime we send out like our Monday news blast information, you would be able to receive all of that. And then I was speaking with Lori today. It would give you the access to log in and register for any of the membership lunches that would happen. Those occur January through September, so.
Yeah.
And then, of course, our events are also listed on the website in case you ever want to see them, so.
And are those,
Very good.
you register and then you can pay at the door or
You
type
can
of thing?
register and pay online, or you can pay in person for those membership lunches. So.
Can we just have somebody from the board office just send all of our board emails to the chamber? I mean,
Sure.
that
I think I'm listed on there already from Fort
Fort
Hays
Hays,
or something, but,
yeah.
so I guess I just sort of thought you guys were getting those emails too. So I'm glad the issue came up. All right, sounds great.
Okay.
Thanks, Lori.
Thank you.
Yes, we can certainly talk about other issues. We cannot take action though if we're not, if it's not on the agenda.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I want to go ahead and move to executive session. I move to enter into executive session pursuant to the Kansas Open Meeting Act for the purposes of discussing matters relating to non-elected personnel. The open meeting will resume in this board meeting at, I'm going to give this 20 minutes.